Happy Freedom Friday. Happy Freedom Friday, everyone. For real, I'm actually going to be brief. I have to ask you a question. What is more important than your mental? May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And it also happens to be my birthday month, which makes perfect sense that this is my top priority. But I got to ask you, what is more important than the mental of our community? On Tuesday, May 19th, at Ben Harbor High School in the PAC, we will have a mental wealth intervention. This is not just a program. This is not just an event for us to check off and say we did a thing. We will have what is greatly and desperately needed in our community, an opportunity for us to come together and face ourselves. You've been seeing some students and some parents and some community members starting to write their mental wealth story. They're looking deeply at the contributions that they made, that the world has tried in the past have tried to erase. They have a label on us. They have a label on our people to make it seem like we aren't out here doing anything. We're not out here. We're not doing enough. We are not doing great things, and our children have something to say. They are more than what the world is saying they are. And so their mental wealth stories are revealing that. Their real and true contributions. Their parents, the community members, the staff are starting to write these stories. But we're also being honest about the challenges that we are overcoming, our struggles. Oppression would have us isolated, embarrassed, and in a space of shame, right? So that we won't share what we've been going through or what we are growing through. We are sharing our stories of overcoming. And that is going to help us to see that we are not in this alone. And so in this space, from now moving forward, we're also sharing in our mental wealth stories. We're sharing our stories of overcoming and our real challenges. And that's going to upset some people because some people thrive in deprioritizing us. Some people are okay with overlooking our pain. Some people actually are exploiting our pain. Some people are actually getting over on our pain. They love our testimonies because they're great fundraising opportunities. They're great opportunities to get a job and say, hey, I worked with those poor people in Ben Harbor. But true leadership, true organizing, true community connection is helping to empower people through their pain. And so our mental wealth stories speak to the individual's contribution, but it also speaks to the individual's challenges and struggles and things that they are overcoming, which will give us an opportunity to lock arms and help each other. It's time for our community to come together and see what each of us is going through and figure out how we can partner. We don't have to agree on everything, but it's time for an intervention. It's time for us to put our differences aside and look for ways to help each other through our struggles and the challenges that we are overcoming and being honest about what's happening. And if you see a person's story and you realize that you are a part of that struggle, you actually have some things that you need to correct with that person, then this season of peace that we're on leading up to Peace Day is an opportunity for you to atone and to not contribute to the struggles and the challenges that our people are going through. The mental wealth story also includes the solutions. So often the person closest to the problem, our children, their parents, our communities, The people closest to the problems are the ones who have been up all night, not just praying for the solution, but thinking about the solution, problematizing the solution, understanding what the solution really is. And these mental wealth stories include the storytellers' solutions that deserve prioritization, that deserve funding, that deserve investments. And we are not just calling for us to story share, but we are also calling for budgets, because Senator Sarah Anthony, who's appropriations chair for the Senate House, has said multiple times that your budget is a moral document. How the school district chooses to invest its money, whether or not we move money actually into the classroom, actually into the students, actually into the community, that's a moral decision to make sure that when we do get the money from the state, that we actually fund the students' dreams, their education, an environment that helps them to thrive, and not one that they hate to go to. And so the mental wealth story that we're creating, and you'll see some of the stories on my powerful, courageous stories on my page and on others leaders' pages. The mental wealth story also speaks to the solutions that deserve prioritization. And when we are by ourselves, isolated, struggling through the problems that we're struggling with, the solutions seem impossible. They feel impossible. And the reason for that is because we haven't been aligned. We have not been aligning our solutions with other people who have been praying and asking for the same solutions. We've been disconnected because of our shame, our challenges, our differences. But it's time for us to have a real serious intervention where we come together and we are empowered by the struggles that we're overcoming. And we are clear on the contributions that we can make with one another, so that we can that will actually lead to real solutions. And so the third part of the mental wealth story that our students and parents and community leaders have been developing is the solution part. What are the solutions that, if those solutions were implemented and prioritized, would make a difference in our melanin-rich cities and schools? And make no mistake about it, Benton Harbor is a melanin-rich school district within a melanin-rich city. Do we care about all of our populations, all of our races? Absolutely, we do. And are we also clear that the descendants of slavery have a unique relationship with struggle that has lasted over 400 years? And it's time for their solutions to be prioritized, their creativity to be invested in. And those solutions will not just help Black folk. The solutions, history has shown that when we invest in the solutions of our people, they help everyone. Look at the inventions. Look at the chair you're sitting on, the broom you use, the air conditioner, the GPS, the elevator, the toilet, the internet. When we invest in the solutions of our people, they don't just help Black folk, they help everyone. But what has happened in the past is that we come up with these solutions, but your contributions get erased. And so what we're saying is we're going to launch a mental wealth intervention at the high school on May 19th, Tuesday, at 10 a.m. And then we're going to have a press conference that is going to speak to the power that we're building. And we are going to celebrate the partnerships that come out of this. We are going to celebrate the lawmakers who have made a commitment to champion our priorities and the solutions that come from our children, from their parents, from this community. It's time for us to get organized. And it's time for us to stop doing business as usual, because that's not working. And so, yes, we, with our Yes Fresh Start campaign, we have made a lot of accomplishments. But the truth is, we can be doing so much more on a global scale. And on Tuesday, we're going to launch our Global Service Learning Healing Initiative that is going to allow others from all over to tap in, and they're ready. And so I ask you again, what are you doing on Tuesday at 10 a.m. that's more important than your mental health? That's more important than the mental wealth of yourself, your community, and our schools, our children. So we have an opportunity on Tuesday to see what that looks like. You have an opportunity on Tuesday to learn more about the mental wealth story and how to frame your own. You have an opportunity on Tuesday to connect with people that you may have been disconnected from. And there's going to be, it's a mental health and CTE expo. All the people saying we need to get CTE back. We need to get CTE back. Be there. Be there. Find out what we have and what we don't have, so that we can get the CTE programs that we don't have, and we can pour into the CTE programs that we do have. Be there. And if you can't be there, get with us, get with me, get with our team to find out how to support, how to be a partner in what we're doing in a way that works for you. You could literally dislike me as a person, not like my personality, have differences with me, and still get involved to help our kids, right? Still get involved to help yourself, because there's room for you. This is not a call for intervention to just help others. This is a call for intervention to include you in the story, to help us come together and see how we can help each other in an organized way, not just talking, in an organized way, to come together and create the conditions for our dreams to manifest, and for us to first take care of our mental health and identify some ways for us, some real tools and skills for us to be able to better connect with each other and align with each other as true partners, without losing your identity, without losing your brand, without losing your organization or your personal mission of what you're doing. So there is a way to do this, to bring our community back together. And I'm told that even Mayor Muhammad is interested in promoting Peace Day reunion. That's going to be on June 3rd. Interested in moving in a different way. And that is what he said. And so this is a time of atonement for people or organizations that may have had differences for whatever reason, to look for ways to come together. I want to credit Mayor Pro Tem Turner for facilitating opportunities for collaboration with unlikely organizations. This event is going to be led by a collaboration of multiple people, multiple organizations. We the People Michigan, Yes Fresh Start, Benton Harbor, high school leaders are working with this. Dr. Cindy Goodson has been working with this. Several of our partners and friends. Students are learning how to coach each other on their mental wealth stories powerfully, having conversations about the challenges that they are overcoming and creating safe spaces for that. And so you're going to be able to see what that looks like. And we have a very special guest that's supposed to be chiming in from New York. And you'll see who that special guest is if you're able to make it, right? And so I'm going to drop the link in the chat so that folks can RSVP. It's going to be very important that you RSVP so that you can get updates. If there's any changes or anything needs to happen, when you RSVP, you'll be in the loop. So you won't have to say, well, why didn't they tell me this part? Or no, you'll be in the loop if you RSVP. Just off top, if you go to peaceday247.com, peaceday247.com, you'll be able to register there. There should be a link there with the flyer, and we'll look for other ways for you to RSVP. Ardell Clark, the amazing, phenomenal Ardell Clark, is preparing a dramatization that you all will be able to see that will help bring what we're doing to life. He's going to be working with student leaders, and I wouldn't call it a skit because it's going to be short, but it's going to help make this make sense. And so anybody who's ever witnessed the creativity of Ardell Clark, you don't want to miss that. And we're going to have some students and a mixture of youth and adults sharing the power and the magnitude of what we're creating on Tuesday. And I understand that some people may not realize the urgency of right now. We are in a situation in which nationally and globally, there are some folks who are seriously exploiting our division. And you're feeling it at the pumps. You're feeling it at the grocery store when you're trying to purchase food that's overpriced. You're feeling the stress of certain laws that are seeking to strip away your rights. But at the end of all of it, no matter what's happening, your ability to harness the power of your mind and create miracles in spite of what's happening around you, our ability to connect as a people, our history of connecting as a people through the toughest times is what's going to take us through this. And Benton Harbor has been ground zero for some of the most racist attacks from outside threats, inside threats, and even our own people. And the only way that we are going to overcome the magnitude of the things that is coming down on our community right now is if we have an intervention. We have to intervene. We have to tell ourselves that, okay, whatever problem I had with so-and-so in 2012, it's time for us to possibly put that aside or face it and look for ways that we can align so that we are not left vulnerable to a lot of the things that's happening. And if that concept is just too big and you're not interested in that conversation, at the very least, what's important right now is to master self mastery. And so with our Peaceful Life organization, with Yes Fresh Start, with our partners, right, what we have recognized is that the most important thing we can do is take the challenge, take the 90-day Peaceful Life challenge. And we're going to go through what that challenge means. It's learning how to reprioritize your well-being. Because if we don't prioritize our own well-being, nobody else is going to do it. Nobody's coming to save us but us. And so the mental wealth intervention is about taking responsibility for prioritizing your well-being so that you can be who you are designed to be for your community. And so some people in that space are going to come and they are going to focus on just self, right? Their own story, what's going on with them, right? How to take this challenge or learn about the challenge to see if you want to take it, and how to better yourself. Some people are coming into that space because they're like, okay, I'm going to take this to my family, and my family's going to take the challenge because home is where our real power is. And so as a family, we're going to take the challenge. Some people are coming into the space in terms of their organization. All right, my organization has been disconnected from the schools and the community. How can my org latch on and help in some way? I don't care if it's mentorship, helping to plant a garden, helping students with their academic support, whatever. How can my organization help on this part? Right? And some people care about advocacy. How can I create the conditions in the community where the people's voice is heard? So this mental wealth intervention will allow for multiple people to tap in depending on where you are and what's important to you. If you know that Ben Harbor has the potential to be the leader, to be the Mecca, then you want to take off work and be there with our youth. But we're only looking for peacemakers who are interested in good trouble. That's who needs to show up and RSVP and come with the mindset of an intervention. What is possible if I set aside my negativity and I'm looking to turn that pain into power? I'm looking to see what's possible if I can help somebody. Don't come with the mindset of, oh, this ain't enough, this ain't that, Ben Harbor gonna always be. Don't come with that mindset. Be willing to suspend that belief and say, you know what's possible for me and my community if we lock arms. Ben Harbor has been known for standing up for themselves, for looking out for each other and helping each other. And it's time for us to ramp that up. We got a few people doing a whole lot of work in the community. But if we have a whole lot of people doing a little bit, then we can get 100 times more accomplished together. And so there is a framework that we're going to share that will empower us to be able to do that. Now, are we going to change the world on Tuesday? No. but we are going to have an opportunity to create an intervention that will allow our minds to see what's possible if we come together, and we will have a clear plan of action on how to take whoever's there and multiply that into the Peace Day reunion experience, into another experience that will transform the way Benton Harbor is moving. And if you're the least bit curious about how that could work, show up. Show up. Show up. And if you, for whatever reason, absolutely cannot show up, connect with me on ways that you can show up. You can still get some peer coaching on how to create your story, how to share other people's story. Share Diaria's story, share Shaniqua's story, share Angela's story, share Elizabeth's story, share Cindy's story, share your story, share my story, share Brianna's story. Powerful stories. And these stories are not just to be telling the story, but it is also to move resources from the Michigan State Capitol, because they're in budget season. Is to move those dollars from the Capitol into our community to fund our solutions. And yes, sometimes when we do win the money from the Capitol, we got to fight in the school district or in the city halls to make sure that money still makes it to the community. But that's a good fight. That's justice. And so sometimes it's not easy, but it's worth it. And so your stories do that as well. We also have an opportunity. We've been fighting for some monies for the My Black Student Project and the Michigan Education Justice Coalition. Through our efforts in collaboration with them, was able to win $4 million of that. And of that $4 million, our 2026 Yes Fresh Start budget priorities are reminding the Michigan Education Justice Coalition that $600,000 of that must come to Benton Harbor area schools. Our students and our community help fight for that. Our students in our community deserve that portion of that, as we continue to fight for $15 million for the other melanated, y'all know when I say melanin rich, I'm talking about predominantly Black cities and schools, so that they can get their ideas and solutions funded for a toolkit as well. And so you can learn more about that on Tuesday, or you can get at me if you want to know more about that as well. And so we're doing multiple things. We're working on self-healing, self-mastery. We're working on aligning who we are with our actions. We're working on adopting our schools and communities and taking responsibility for lifting our schools up, not looking for one person, no one superintendent gonna come and save us. We're gonna have to save ourselves. We are the solution we're looking for. If the superintendent is doing right, then we encourage them. If they're not, then we encourage them to do the right thing. Regardless of who's in the seats, we have a responsibility to our community and to our children. And they have a responsibility to their community and to their schools and cities. So it's also an opportunity for us to take responsibility and adopting our schools and our communities as our responsibility. We're interrupting the school to prison pipeline. And we're creating a different pipeline to prosperity. Okay, and so we have an opportunity to do that. So it's about finances, because money is the answer to many things. Money is one of the greatest facilitators of energy. Make no mistake about it. So we're looking to reroute the way money is moving in our communities, reroute how we are investing our own time, prioritizing our mental health and our own wealth, reconnecting with resources. There may be somebody right now who knows how to fix that leak in your bathroom at an affordable rate, and you might know how to do a thing that can help them, but because you disconnected, you sitting over there with the leak and they sitting over there with the thing you need. And so we got to get back connected with one another. And so there are some tools and some skills that we can gain on Tuesday and how to do that, how to reconnect this child, the families, the schools, and our partner hubs and our cities, and connect us to the state and federal governments, and make sure that we're rerouting those dollars back into our community. So that's it for me. This was pre-recorded. So if you seeing, you making comments and I'm not, tapping in, it's because this was pre-recorded, but I am going to tap in the comments as best I can. Share this out, share this out, share this out, share this video out. Because even if folks can't make it, they need to know you can get involved. You can go to peaceday247.com, take the challenge so that we can have, we can stay connected and we can show you how to take the challenge. May 19th at 10 a.m. in Ben Harbor High School, PAC. Come ready for an intervention. And then also June 3rd, Peace Day reunion at the flagpole at the high school, 8:15 a.m. You can also find out how to get peace t-shirts. We're prioritizing people who are taking the challenge. We are prioritizing t-shirts for folks who are taking the challenge. Okay, I appreciate you all. I love you so much. Thank you for your time today, your investment of time and your investment of energy. And remember that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We're not just about making you aware. We're about actually taking control of our mental, of our mind. That is the most powerful thing we have is our mind. And so we're going to be working to align who we are, our mental, and with our responsibility to ourselves, our families, and our communities. Looking forward to that. Y'all take care. God bless.